There. I hope that's better. I need to get this changed, or I need to quit using this program, because it's one thing that that it happened once in a while, or something happened here and there, but for this to be a constant thing every single time I shut my computer off and turn it back on, it has taken my microphone away, and I have to add it back manually, and that doesn't make any sense at all. I've had it working perfectly before, which is why now that it doesn't work right, I miss it, because I'm not used to having to do this multiple times of manually assigning a microphone so it will work in a show. But here we are. Roll revealed number 791, 1968, Denver. Roll got a hell of a double die reverse to be watching for. Got some double die obverses to be watching for. Some RPMs. Let's dig in and see what we got. Here we go. Coin number 1. This one will go to Stan Horn. Let me get my lighting adjusted here just a little bit. It moved in just a little bit more. And focus. All right, here we go. The obverse stuff to look for is going to be in God We Trust. Mostly class 2 doubling. Got one or two known cases of things going on with the L, but it's not in Denver Mint, but that doesn't mean anything. All the dies were made in Philadelphia back then. So because there's something in San Francisco doesn't mean there can't be anything in Denver to match it. And as for the double die reverse, well, I don't even need to tell you about that. It is obvious. So if we flip the coin over and there's doubling everywhere and I start yelling, that means that's what we've got. Nothing on that coin, though. And so let's check. Coin number 2, this one for Alex. Well, once in a while I get in these places where my demons in my closet come out and start volleying with me. And I just don't feel like I can be human during those times. And when they pop up, they pop up. And I never know when they're coming. They kind of bounce in uninvited. And so, sorry about having to just take a hiatus, but generally when I disappear, that's why. I'll disappear for 5, 6, 7 days on time, and then it takes me a few days to get reacclimated to come back into being human again. But I'm here. Here's one for Doug. That's a very fresh looking, relatively new die here. Nice early die state. Let's see. Now see, even in early die state, on individual dies, you'll get the lettering touching the rim. That's because that lettering touching the rim isn't the fault of the die itself. It's a fault of the master. And so the working die itself just received the design however it was dealt. And it's generally already messed up by the time the dies get it. Let's check the reverse. I appreciate that, Frosty. I appreciate that much. I've been dealing with this for so long that it's just a matter of getting myself reoriented, getting myself straightened out and back on track. I've had that plus a ill family member, and had a family member pass, and my wife had to go to the funeral, and I got another one sitting on the doorstep. And so we just got a lot going on right now. A lot of things. But I'm trying to get through all that and get myself back to being acclimated for regular work, which will be changing over the near future. I'm not exactly sure right now what, where, why, or exactly how I'm going to handle doing this, but I do want to give more time to writing books, coding website, things that need to be done, and less time to reveals and working through getting auctions ready to go. I've got a number of other things that I would like to have done, would like to be able to do, that running an auction every week just precludes completely, because it's a lot of not necessarily strenuous, like laborious physical work, but there's a lot of mental drumming around that goes into getting this kind of stuff ready to do a show and carry it on. And I need a bit of a break from that. It's not like I need to give it up and quit. My thing is, I just need to slow down the gear, slow my roll a little bit. That was a real bad example of what 1968 is very guilty for. 66 through 68 generally. And this is also why in 1969 they changed the engraving to more closely match what Brenner initially intended for the 1909 Lincoln cent. They started in 1969. I saw that, Frosty. I'm sorry about that. I just know that Sherman's day is ticking. That clock is moving. And it would be really nice to be able to figure out how to, stop the clock and keep him forever, but I know that isn't possible. And I know my turn is coming, and I dread it. But at the same time, I give him all the love and attention I possibly can while he's around. This is another one of those cases here, this particular roll of, well, if you find it, you found it, and it's really great. But if it's like 99% of the other rolls out there, it's not going to have anything in it. But you don't know that until you check. So that's where we're going. Just to check. See what we've got, what we don't got. Nothing going on with this one. Let's keep poking through here. Got 5 reveals to get done today. Then we've got the roll reveal show this evening. Got a full complement of rolls coming up this evening on the roll reveal show. And we'll be having an auction tomorrow. Got a lot of new stuff that has shown up recently that going to have in this auction. All right, here's one for Timothy Morell. It's an odd-looking stray mark there, but I don't believe that's part of an RPM. I'll look at the reverse side on probably half the coins in the roll. And we'll speed it up a little bit, stop flipping them over. If we don't have one of these in the first half of the roll, it's very unlikely that an original roll would contain something in the second half that it doesn't have in the first half. We'll see. It's got freckles. I've heard freckles are supposed to be cute. These aren't. Let's see. I got one for Sissy now. See if Sissy happens to be a lucky recipient. And I'm seeing nothing. Nada. Nothing there. Here we go, coin number 13, Tripwit. Nothing on that obverse. Let's check the reverse. Reverse. And not one thing there. So we've got nothing going on here. Try the next coin. All right, coin number 14 for Carl. Nice early die state coin. Nothing on it, though. Check the reverse on this one as well. Just to see if we turn it into something pretty by flipping it over and giving it some attention. I've heard that can happen. I've never seen it. But that doesn't make it not real, right? Just because I haven't seen it. Hey, Farm Dog. Good day to you. Up to number 15 here. Nothing there. Nothing on the back side either. Father's Day did okay with Father's Day, actually. I called my dad and I talked to him for, probably about a half an hour. And then I talked with my son over in Sweden for, it's a little better than an hour we spoke on the phone. He does photography in a professional sense at car races, taking photos of the cars and press photos and stuff like that. He's pretty good at it. He's very good at it, actually. And knows his stuff when it comes to cameras, that's for sure. I didn't do much anything outdoors. It was mostly an inside event yesterday. Austin was not feeling well, so we didn't go much of anywhere or do anything. So that's all we had going on here. Ended up under a flash flood warning for a while yesterday evening as a train of storms were making it through the area. Very unusual thing that some members of the county less than 10 miles away from here got 0.3 of an inch of rain, and then less than 10 miles away from here in the opposite direction, they got over 6 inches of rain in one afternoon. We were kind of in the middle of that. We got about 3 inches here. Up to number 19 now. If I can get the flip apart. There we go. Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell, number 19. Let's take a quick look at number 19. Nothing on the obverse. Nothing on the reverse. A bunch of marks on the die, though. A whole bunch of little chips and cracks on the columns. Would make for a very good marker to determine something if there were anything to be determined. But, as it were, we have nothing. So, keep moving. Hello, Mr. Palmer. Good afternoon to you. There's IT. Let's see what we can muster up for IT here. Nothing on that side. Let's check the other side. A little bit of machine doubling in United. That's about it for that. Now number 21. We have seen this die pair before. Nothing there. Still storms up there today? Well, I don't think we've got very long before we should expect the same. I think we're due for some more storms today. It's been cloudy all morning. Haven't seen much anything for sunshine today yet. I was up at 5:30 this morning. Actually, 5:02 is when I woke up. And 5:19 is when I ended up just getting out of bed. My phone decided that it needed to let me know that my glucose was high. Not like I can do much of anything about it. Right? You know, what am I supposed to do? You have high blood sugar. Okay. That's kind of a daily thing, so maybe I should just turn those notifications off because they do nothing more than disturb me, wake me up, whatever. That thing will start screaming off during the middle of a broadcast, too. We've already had experience with that. Adventures with Maxwell again. Well, for low blood sugar, I would definitely keep the alarms going to be sure I'm not tanking. But high blood sugar, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't do anything to make it better. It has to get better on its own. I mean, I take all-day insulin, so the medication I take is scheduled by time, not by need. Well, Dan, you would probably beat me because mine is probably close to 200 right now. Nope, try 281. So it's quite high. But I just ate a banana. Had to get something in my gut. Can't just go without eating. And pretty much anything I do eat sends my blood sugar up. And folks, trust me, it doesn't matter what it is. My body is no longer producing insulin as needed. So I have a tendency to seesaw a little bit with my numbers. Oh, it likes to make me really tired. That's for sure. Not the insulin, the diabetes. It's the blood sugar. Every time I have a big kick in blood sugar, I can feel it. I feel like I'm trying to function through molasses. Little tiny bit of die deterioration, actually machine doubling on the lower reverse on that coin number 27 there. Here's coin number 28. A lot of die scratches. So many of these coins seem to have a lot of die scratches and a slightly soft, partially incomplete strike. Nothing there. All right, on to obverses only for the remainder of this roll. See if we can pop out a class 2 double dies or maybe a RPM. Looking at all the places where I would typically think to look. So after 29 years of back and forth love letters with the Veterans Administration, they finally see things my way and have awarded a rating of 100% service-connected disability to me. So now I am a fully disabled veteran. Yay. Nobody told me you had to get unhealthy and sick to do this, but here it is anyway. So my story is still the same as it was the very first day I went in to try to get disability pay. And of course, it took them about 20 years to give me the first dime of disability pay. And then from that period, it only took them 2.5 years to go from just a little tiny bit to 100%. But I am lucky to have full disability. I have a lot of people who never get full disability, who probably should or should have. One from Mickey here. It's looking like this roll is going to turn out to be a sandbag for us. That's what it's looking like so far. Not finding anything yet. Coin number 35. So I haven't seen yet what Eric is planning for this coming week. But my rolls that I'll be doing, I have a 1954S, 1956 Philly, 1956 Denver, a 1957 Denver, 1958 Denver, and a 46D, 1946D. Should be 5 rolls. Good day, Bethel Inn. Hope things are well with you. I get started on this, and now I know for sure that I am going to need a break. So I could tell that when I start seeing kind of weird, kind of feeling a little weird. It's one of those, if I were standing, I would probably pass out. Good thing I'm sitting. I have to go eat a regular lunch and get myself activated properly for the day, which means I'm going to have to crash for a little bit. An awful day. What happened on your awful day yesterday? Well, awful days should not be allowed for us, but unfortunately I get my share too. I've had some of that just in the last week and a half. Between my physical health issues and my mental health issues, I have had a very full 10-15 days worth. Oy. Still here, but not completely. I will, I'll finish this off and take a bit of a break, crawl down the stairs and grab a sandwich or something to spark a little energy, maybe. Number 43. Yeah. I will get all those reveals done. I may have to reschedule a few things. It really comes on me after I get started. So here we are. I'm trying, boys and girls. Trying to get there and stay there. Not working easily. This one for Dan. And for Carl, there's a lot of these coins do look really shiny, very nice. Luster is pretty. You can see that they have some little spots and slight strike issues, which is actually very normal for 1968D. Here's number 47 now. Alex. Okay. $48. Stan? Well, that's not good, Dan. My 57th birthday is in a month and a half. That's an unusual coincidence. Yeah, I was fine until I came on. When I came on to the broadcast, I was starting to get a little tired and woozy, and now I'm hanging on. Won't be able to do today what I thought I was going to be able to do today. We will be having the reveal show this evening, though. That's for sure. And I will get these reveals done, go through all of them as soon as I possibly can. This is the other end of the roll here, which is why this one is nice and toned. But we've got no die varieties here. So we ended up getting a skunk on the roll for die varieties. But, yeah, 1968D, you can't always expect to get goodies. All right, folks. Well, that does it for now. I think I'm going to go reschedule some shows and take a break and see if I can come back a little bit later on. I do appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate your support, and I'll be back sometime a little bit later on. Be well, folks.